Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube, and what we're going to make are actually sweet cherry rolls, or a lot of people maybe you'd rather call them cherry cinnamon rolls. Yet I have no cinnamon in the recipe, but it is a good one. I'm going to first off give you the recipe of the dough itself. Okay, I do make my dough generally always in my bread maker on the dough cycle. You can go ahead and of course make your dough by hand if you prefer that, of course. But I find not only for the videos but for myself, it just makes my doughs and sweet doughs and pizza doughs really just at perfection, and it's a lot easier on my hands. So I like to use the dough cycle on my bread maker. Well, here's the recipe. You're going to need 6½ cups of all-purpose flour, a ½ cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 packages of active dry yeast, 1 cup water, 1 cup milk, and a ½ cup of margarine or butter, which I melt and I cool. I actually melt it in my microwave, and 1 egg that you have beaten at room temperature. Now what I like to do is to get my water at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit, I actually warm my water and my milk together in the microwave, and that's how I actually like to heat my water. Now if you are making your dough in your bread maker, do follow your directions when to put the ingredients in, because every bread maker is a little different of what you're supposed to put in first, second, third, fourth, and so on and so on. So do follow your directions. Now I do want to tell you the cherries that I'm using today. If you're looking for a great cherry filling with fresh cherries, I have a video on it. It's great to make cherry pies. Well, you put it over ice cream. It is just a fantastic recipe that I have, and I hope that you give it a try. If you want to make these sweet rolls, these cherry sweet rolls, or you want to make a cherry pie, or use it for whatever your baking needs are, it's just a great filling. I also have apple and several other very easy to make, and if you don't want to make your own, you can use the canned pie filling, but it's expensive. It's easy, it's convenient. But to make your own, you'll make it for pennies. You know what the ingredients you've put in, and it's delicious if you're so inclined to want to make your own. So that's how you're going to make the sweet dough. Now, what I have is half of the dough that you're going to see. I'm going to put a little flour on my countertop. Of course, I don't want to put too much because I don't want these rolls to be heavy or dense. But what you're seeing is half. It's been cut in half. Now I generally get 16 rolls, 16 to 18 rolls. It really depends how you're going to cut them. I try to cut them for at least about 1.5 inches wide. But again, this is only half of the dough. The dough is very easy to work with. It's quite nice with its elasticity. It's not a real sticky dough. It's very manageable. What you'll want to do is you'll want to roll this out to 12 by 20 inches, okay? And you'll want a rectangle, so 12 by 20. And again, remember you're going to get 2 of these, okay? I'm just going to kind of stretch it out with my hands a little bit here. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, but this is really just a great tasting sweet roll. Okay, The next thing, you're gonna need at least 3/4 to a cup. It really depends how much that you wanna put in. Whoops, I just saw a little stem there. And then I just put it over the top of this. Now, it might not look like you're putting enough on, but when you actually start rolling it and whatever, you will see, you will have enough filling, rather. If I said topping, I meant to say filling. And put your filling about 1 inch away from the edge. You don't want it too close. Now, and just distribute them as evenly as you can. Okay. Over the top. All right, so we'll set that aside. Okay, now I'm going to roll it on the long end. You don't want to make it too tight. Okay. Now my filling, because my kitchen is so hot right now, it's sort of breaking down on me a little bit here. So I'm going to turn it around. Okay. Now sometimes, you know, this can be a little messy. So if you don't like messy, you might not want to do this. But they're well worth it. They taste fantastic. And then once everybody has had them, they're just going to love them. Okay. All right. So I'm having a little leakage problem here. Okay. And I'm going to just grab a kitchen towel here and pick up some of this here. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to seal it. I like to just press in the center, to the right, to the left, like I'm making a little package or wrapping a gift. And then just square off the edges. Make sure, try to seal that bottom as best as you can. What's nice about these rolls, even if they are a little bit messy, even if you get the filling on the top of the dough, it actually will make it taste fantastic. Okay, you're going to need a well-greased pan for it. Okay, if you're making the whole recipe at one time, you're going to need at least a 13 by 9. And then to cut the rolls, either use a clean piece of string, or dental floss, or a sharp knife. Okay. And then just take your rolls and then put them in your pan. You want to give them some space because they're going to rise. They're going to need a double, till they're double in size. Okay. And cover them with a clean kitchen towel. And it really depends on the temperature of your kitchen. Okay. They might rise in 45 minutes. They might rise in an hour. It'll really depend on you. Now, my sweet rolls are just got a little bit flat, but when I put them back in, I can round them off, and you get the idea. But again, don't put them too close because they're, you know, they are going to double in size. So don't forget to cover that dough up with your kitchen kitchen towel. Okay? All right, so putting that aside for the moment. Okay. I want to tell you that I will not have the recipe below the video. I want to wash my hands here quickly, being I'm handling raw dough that has egg in it. The recipe will be not below the video. As I've been mentioning in quite a few of my videos, due to people copying them and taking them to other websites, it's really the work is, well, I feel like it's being wasted, to be honest with you. And so many people on YouTube I've noticed are doing the same thing. They're not putting their recipes below. So I hope that in the beginning of the video I went slow enough that you could hear the ingredients and the amounts, okay? Also, I just want to show you how beautiful these rolls come out. They'll bake up so nice and tall for you. I glaze them with just a powdered sugar glaze. You can make it as thick or thin as you want it. You can use water, you can use milk. I would suggest, start off with probably a cup of powdered sugar and then add your milk or your water to the consistency that you'll want to, drizzle over them. Let's cut into one to show you what these beautiful rolls look like. And probably is the easiest is just to grab one here on the end. And I don't know if you can see those beautiful cherries inside this dough and on the top. They just are delicious with these fresh cherries. Also, the bun itself, or the roll itself, I don't know if you can see how moist when I'm pushing back on that and how delicate and light it is. These are just great with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, that kind of thing. And again, I don't know if you can see when I'm pressing on them how delicious and light. They're not heavy at all. Now, I also want to tell you that I would really appreciate this if you try this recipe and you like it. Well, if you'd give me a like or ring the top of the bell of the page, that would be fantastic. Also, the reason I'm asking you to solely watch me on YouTube is because many of you do write to me, ask questions or comments, and I can't answer you, and it's so frustrating. So please watch me on YouTube, and if you're so inclined and you want to subscribe, boy, I'd really appreciate that too. So I want to thank you always for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube, and I hope that you give these fresh cherry sweet rolls, well, I hope you try them out, because I think if you try it, I know you're gonna like it. Thanks again for watching Diane Lovetobake, and I'll see you soon.